Hello, everyone. This is Andre Battles, your friend and fellow sinner, saved by grace and clothed in Christ's righteousness. Agents in the matrix. Who are you working for? I shared a post earlier today concerning something that caught my attention last night. I had gotten up out of my sleep. I was awoken out of my sleep. And because I love you guys on Facebook and I consider you guys my congregation, I consider myself a Facebook minister, I went to go and check on you guys like I normally would. There have been times in the past when I'll get up in the middle of the night, I feel like the Spirit of God will wake me up, and I'll come across a post and somebody's struggling or going through something, and I'll pray for them. This has happened often in the 11 years that I've done Facebook ministry. Well, I was surfing last night, and as I'm going through my Facebook news feed, I come across an image a dear individual shared. And when I saw this image, I immediately had to do this number because it was that provocative. It was that raunchy. Now, brothers and sisters, how many of you are familiar with the movie The Matrix? I'm quite sure all of you are. We all remember Neo, Morpheus, and Trinity, which were the three main characters of that movie, The Matrix. And what was the premises? What was the idea behind it? Remember, we're talking about the Matrix. We're talking about agents and which side we're working for. Whenever Neo, Morpheus, and Trinity entered into the Matrix, they plugged in for the purpose of unplugging someone from the system of the Matrix. And the Matrix is just that. It's a system. Well, we are living in the Matrix. This world is a matrix. It's a system, and there are agents, just like in that movie. Do you remember whenever Neo, Morpheus, and Trinity were plugged in and were about to pull someone out of the Matrix, whenever the agents, the individuals who worked for the system, found out the location of Morpheus, Neo, or Trinity, what did you see happen? Morpheus would be somewhere, maybe say on a bus, or he'd be in a car driving on the highway, and some police officers were following him. And the next thing you know, when the agents figured out Morpheus's location, the agents morphed into the image or into the body of the police officer who was chasing Morpheus. So all you see is, and then all of a sudden what? The agent pops in the very place where it was once a cop. What is the idea behind this? Because I know for a certainty that sister who wrote that movie had to know her Bible. And I want you guys who are paying attention, whose eyes are open, to listen in and to catch this idea. Based on the way that we carry ourselves, based upon the way that we live, we are all agents. Whether you like it or not, we are all agents for either God or we are agents for this system in this world called the Matrix. Because think about it. When we are going about our business, the way that we carry ourselves, the way that we dress, the things that we say, the attitude that we possess, the spirit that we possess is an advertisement for one of two powers. And we're either advertising for God or we're advertising for the other guy. Remember again in the Matrix, whenever Neo was about to snatch somebody out of the Matrix and open his or her eyes, the agents would pop right in and would morph into the image or into the body or the vessel of the person who was closest to Neo to try and attack him and to stop him from what he was doing, Sister Christine Shepherd. Now, I want you to take note and I want you to make that plain in your life, and I want you to make it plain, like real practically like. The way that we dress as men and women, the way that we talk, the ideas and the mode of thinking that we possess, the things that we do, the things that we say, the way that we carry ourselves is an advertisement. Let's make it a little deeper or make it more plain. Based upon how I carry myself, I am either an agent for Satan or I'm an agent for Christ. So when I saw this particular image on Facebook last night while surfing, and I noticed the nature of it, I had to immediately close my eyes because I understood right then that if I feasted my eyes any further on it, it would lead me back into my old lifestyle. Now, how do I make sense of that to you on a personal level? The way that you carry yourself or conduct yourself is an advertisement. You see, we are all connected. Facebook is a social media platform, but it's much more than that. We all can share and we all see what one another's doing. We all have the ability to pop in and say, oh, let me go and see what Philip Gordon's doing today. Oh, let me go see what Brother Legacy Hill's doing today or Brother Andre Battles is doing today. You catch my drift? And I can come to your page and based upon the things that you're sharing, the type of music that you're sharing, the type of clothes that you're wearing, based upon the attitude that you possess or represent here on Facebook, you are an agent either for good or bad. But it goes even beyond that because it goes beyond social media. When we are alive and active in our day-to-day walk, let's just say someone comes up to us and says, man, did you hear about brother so-and-so or sister so-and-so? Man, they're in the middle of a divorce, or I heard that she was cheating on her husband, or I heard X, Y, Z. Now you are faced with a decision. Are you going to be an agent for good and let that rumor stop right there with you? To let that bit of gossip stop right there with you? Or are you going to be an agent who is now being used and you're being morphed into by the power of the devil to go and carry somebody's business to somebody else, which therefore now carries the business on, and now you're humiliating someone else. Now you're embarrassing someone else. What type of agent are you? This world is the matrix, and we must remember that based upon the decisions we make, based upon the way we carry ourselves, based upon the way that we live, we are either advertising for God, we are either agents for God or Satan. Now, I don't want anybody to be discouraged because I myself, Andre LaFane Battles, was the #1 agent for the devil at one time in my life. I mean, any kind of foolishness came my way, I would go gossip and share it. Any type of foolishness that came to my mind, if I was thinking like I wanted to go and tempt a woman or flirt with a woman or act a fool with a woman, I'd go do it because I was an agent for the flesh. And the agent for the flesh is really directly working underneath the power of Satan. Now, because my eyes have been opened and I want to encourage others as a result of my eyes being open, I'm encouraging you to consider, sisters, brothers, how do you dress? Sisters, brothers, what do you do with people's business when you find out about it? Sisters, brothers, what kind of lifestyle do you live? Sisters, brothers, are you kind? Are you helpful? Are you caring? Are you sharing? Are you mean? Are you ugly? Are you passive? Are you just one of those persons who don't care about nobody and you're all about yourself? You are an agent, and it does not matter whether you want to be one or not. We are all agents for either good or for evil. Brothers and sisters, I want to unplug folk out of the matrix, and I hope that's your idea, and I hope that's what you want to do. This is Andre Battles, your friend and fellow sinner, saved by grace and clothed in Christ's righteousness. Please remember, please take heed to the fact that you have the power to either keep someone plugged into this sinful world, or you have the power to unplug them based upon the decisions that you make. If this message has been a blessing to you, I'm going to ask you to do me a solid. Hit the share button and be blessed.